happy championship week, ladies and gentlemen.
I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
I wasn't sure either. I didn't know I was going to keep going with the hose.
Week 16. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Name over there. I'm Dustin. Hopefully y'all are gearing up for your fantasy football championship.
That's right. It's this week, not next week, commissioners.
Oh, please hope. With all the people that are already getting rested or sending to the IR.
Oh my God, could you imagine another week? We are not shooting next week, by the way.
This is our last video.
This is it. This is it.
We'll have some more after the season, kind of looking at some recap stuff. But.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe. We will be doing that. And any video ideas you have, leave in the comments. Por favor.
Let's get into those quarterbacks.
All right, quarterbacks. I'm talking about Drew Brees, and Dustin, the boss, make me talk about him because I got to defend him because we have him at number 3, and I'm the one to put him there. And I know what you're thinking. Hopefully, you're actually in the finals if you've had Brees because he has been bad the last 3 weeks. Last 3 weeks, he's only averaged 9 points. But the 3 weeks previous to that, he had been averaging 26. And, pretty much a standard setting. I know everyone's settings are different. But with Brees, why I think he'll be all right this week is they are at home. I do like that. They are playing the Steelers, who will also be putting up points against them. And Vegas thinks so, too. It's an over-under of 53.5, one of the highest on the slate. I think Mr. Drew Brees bounces back this week, wins some championships.
I don't hate him. I just think I would have had him at 6. But
I mean, it's just tough.
It's tough.
Tough.
I have Drew Brees. I'm starting him, but I don't have any other good options. All right. It's the last chance I get to talk about him, so I'm going to talk about him one more time. Mr. Mitch Trubisky. We got him here at number 13 at San Francisco this week. When his first game back from his injury, didn't look that good. Balls were sailing on him a little bit, threw a couple picks. Last week, looked a lot better, threw 2 touchdowns. San Francisco, not completely afraid of them. I think this is going to be a solid game for Mitch. Are we going to get one of his blow-up games that he gave us earlier on in the year? I'm not so sure, but I do think he has a high floor this week. And I think he is startable in some cases in 1 QB leagues for your championship.
Mitch Magic, baby. All right, let's go over those running backs. And again, you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. Or any questions, I guess, or comments. All right, let's go over to running backs. Mr. Derrick Henry. Man, he's jumped up these rankings. He has jumped up. He's at number 13. You know who always thought he could do this? The man sitting to my right. Isn't that right, Mr. Barkley?
Yeah, and I dropped him.
You sure did.
Like everyone else did.
Of course you did, though. It was so bad. But you know what? The last 2 weeks, he's had 400 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, roughly. In 2 weeks, that's absolutely ridiculous. But the really thing I like about him is he's passed the eye test. He's looked great doing it. They're playing the Redskins this week. I know the Redskins kind of have playoff hopes. We're from the DC area. Trust me, they always are a letdown. Anytime there's a little bit of hope, he is going to run all over him. Derrick Henry, start with confidence.
Sorry I ever doubted you, Derrick. I am so sorry. I want to talk about Tevin Coleman. This is another guy that I have.
We've always loved him.
We've always said, he
just needs the volume.
He just needs a shot. Maybe Tevin will finish strong for you. Not the easiest matchup at Carolina, but you got to think this is going to be a decent volume play. They probably will work some other running backs in, but you got to think he's going to get 15-plus touches, and he's always just 1 touch away from a big week. So we think Tevin is very secure as a RB2 this week.
And this is contract year. He knows he's playing for big money.
He needs to finish strong. Yeah. So we like Tevin.
All right, as we go over to our next running back, we're talking about Mr. McCoy out there with the Bills. And I don't think he would necessarily be playing if there wasn't so many injuries. And he still might not play. He's limited in practice all week. Ivory's been limited in practice. Murphy, who I thought was a great FanDuel play, which didn't work out, he's done for the year. So there's just not that many running backs to go around for Buffalo. So by default, he might be the most healthy and therefore playing. But still keep an eye on his injury status going into the game. They are playing the Patriots. And based on the Vegas lines, it looks like Vegas thinks it's going to be like a 29 to 15, 14 game. So they're not thinking the Bills are going to put up too many points. However, if he's the only healthy body, it really could be a volume play for him this week. So he's a flex option.
At number 30, Damian Williams. This guy helped a lot of people get into their championships. He looked great last week. They're at Seattle, so not the easiest matchup. And Spencer Ware will probably be back. As of right now, there hasn't been anything definite.
We're ranking him like Spencer Ware is going to play, but be like limited.
We like Williams a little bit more. They'll cut into each other a little bit probably, but we think Williams with his big play potential, and he's been finding the end zone. We like him a little bit more, but most likely you're steering clear of this one unless you're just kind of looking for a high upside flex option. But there is some upside obviously on that offense. And if you don't want, or if you're not in your finals and you're looking for some action, don't forget to check out FanDuel. Click on the link in the description. Get in there, sign up, get on some of those tournament actions.
I know Williams. I'm going back to him real quick, Dustin. Right. It's the night game, so I understand it's a tough call because we won't know if Ware's playing or not. We're saying if you have better options, go with the safe one. It's the championship. Don't get too cute. He might blow up because Ware doesn't play. So be it. But check the reports. Check the reports. Probably the most important one. As we go over to wide receivers, I want to talk about Mr. Amari Cooper. And you know what? He's been great. Obviously, if you got him, you're going to start him. What I really want to say is everyone hated on the Cowboys when they did that trade, trading a first rounder, and then Tate went for a third. Look how much better Cooper is than Tate. It was well worth the trade. He's still young. I got to applaud Jerry on this one. Fantasy-wise, playing the Bucs, absolutely love that. They're favored by 7 points. It's about a 48 over-under. He's going to bounce back. He didn't have the best week last week. He's going to bounce back this week, start him with confidence.
I want to talk about Robert Woods.
Another Dustin guy. You're getting all your guys out at the end of the year.
Well, I want to talk about just the Rams offense in general, just because they've been, they just have not looked like themselves. But with Robert Woods, when you look at his game log, he hasn't really had a bunch of blow-up games. But even with their struggles as of late, he's still been fairly consistent and consistently slightly above average. So even with Woods, his floor is just so unbelievably safe. Don't shy away from him. You get your points, and you still got the chance for upside with him. He could find the end zone. So I'm just saying with Woods, don't do anything cute with him either. I think he's fine in your lineup in almost all leagues that you own.
All right, number 23, we got Josh Gordon going against those Bills. And it's what we've said about him all year. I know when he went to the Patriots, people thought he was going to be Randy Moss 2.0. But what the Patriots do is really game plan and scheme against who they're playing. It changes week to week. You can't even look at divisional games and when they played them last time what they did because they always change it up. And, you know, the last couple weeks, you know, I'm a target guy. He had 2 targets last week, but 9 the week before that. But the week prior to that, he had 3. This is why Gordon isn't a guarantee you have to start him. He always has blow-up potential, but it's always scheme. So I like to play it a little bit safer typically in the championship week, so that's why we have him ranked here at 23.
At 28, Mike Williams, another guy that blew up week 15. If you started him, you obviously were happy. So after that big game, do you start him week 16? The big game mainly came because Keenan Allen got hurt early in that one and came back for like 1 play. And then
thanks, Keenan. Way to ruin my season.
And then he
0 points.
And then he was done. So don't forget that. If Allen's out, okay, get a little bit more excited about Williams. But it looks like Allen might come back. The other tricky part about this one, though, is they're playing Baltimore this week. That's a tricky matchup. So I think he is a wide receiver 3 with upside. Don't go super crazy just off of his blow-up game, but I do like the future of this guy. He looks legit. I think he will be a staple on that offense for a lot of years.
Oh, he's had the hype for a lot of years in our keeper dynasty leagues. All right, moving over to tight ends. God, his tight end's been ugly this year.
It's our last time we have to do this.
Yeah, it's hard to find somebody. It is hard to find somebody. At number 4, we're talking about Eric Ebron, and this is a guy that just had 1 catch for 8 yards last week.
Bust.
So, and we got him at number 4?
He's number 4.
Like, it's crazy. But the reason we have him at number 4 is they're playing the New York Giants. Season's over for them. You know, I see the Colts. You know, out of the guys 4 and below, it feels like he has the best chance to find the end zone. So, therefore, he is ranked at number 4. That's pretty much what you're hoping for with these tight ends at this point.
At 15, I want to talk about Uzama for the Bengals. They have hardly anyone left to throw the ball to. I just think he has a decent floor. I'm not expecting huge things, but if you're like, hey, I want a 6-point tight end, I just want him to get me something. He's not a bad option. When you look over the last 6 weeks in 0.5 PPR, he's had at least 3 to 10 points each week. So He's not going to set the world on fire, but in terms of a decent guy that's, outside the top 8 or 10 or whatever, he has at least a decent floor compared to some of these other guys who are just completely hit or miss.
Defense, talking about my boys, the Bears. I loved them all year. They're our #1 ranked defense this week. They can always put up big points. Vegas has them as only a 4-point favorite. It feels like I should guarantee bet on them, but Vegas always the knows for Vegas. So, you know what? I'm going to give some love to the guys at the end. Bears are #1 for a reason. If you have them, you're starting them. Dustin, move on. I want to give my thanks at the end. I want to save some time.
All right. I want to talk about the Patriots at #4. They destroyed Buffalo earlier in the year in terms of fantasy defense. They're at home this time. Buffalo's still giving up a ton of points to opposing defenses. That offense completely lacks weapons. I think the Patriots are a very safe defensive play this week with huge upside. I wanted to have them even higher, maybe even #3, #2.
No, wouldn't allow it. So I am taking off the awesome hat. 'Tis the season, but I just want to say thank you. I do this every year. But in all reality, I want to thank the Smack Talk community. We always hope that you guys dominate. Hope you had a great year. Hope we helped you out just a little bit. Hope you had a little bit of fun along the way. We've been doing this channel for a long time now. Some people call us their secret weapons, but if you could now that the season's over, do us a solid. Give us a share. We do need some more subscribers. So if you could do anything to let the world know, or tell your parents to subscribe, throw it to other people that you don't play against, doesn't matter. I don't care. Try to give a little Smack Talk love out there. Give us a thumbs up. Tell Dustin to give me a raise. Throw a paper.
Oh, not with that, bro.
So mean.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck.